So the undisputed pound-for-pound king, Terence Bud Crawford, also known as the face of boxing, also known as one of the greatest fighters, top 5 of all time, Bud did a great interview with Andre Ward a day before his parade for the Canelo Alvarez victory. And do you guys know, Crawford ironically revealed that he's been getting harassed by the Popo from the G Unit, etc., back in the day. And apparently is still happening till this day, clearly in America. Whether you are a black king or a regular black citizen, you get treated the same way. Here is exactly what Crawford had to say on the Art of War right before his parade, right before he got harassed by the police, right before he was held at a gunpoint after receiving his second key to the city. If that ain't enough, I want you guys to watch another video that's about a decade old of Crawford talking about being harassed by the police and dealing with that in Omaha. This is a pretty common thing, apparently. Check it out.
When you beat Spence, you came home, you had a celebration for all of Nebraska, bro. 15,000 people came out. I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. Y'all getting ready to do it again tomorrow. How does that feel to be able to run that back, especially coming off the win you just had 2 weeks ago?
Oh, man, I honestly believe this one going to be bigger than the Spence.
Than the 15?
Man, I think this is going to be bigger than the Spence. Like, the support and the amount of people that came out, like, it was unreal.
Was you expecting that many back then?
Nah. That's why I said it was unreal, because it was just like, all these people here for you. Oh, Bud. You know what I mean? Like, you sit there and you think, you're like, man, dude, and you think about how far you done came, and you think about, like, the G Unit and the police officers that used to mess with you, pull you over and harass you and things like that, and they all fans of you, they cool with you now, and it's just like, man, like, how your life did a complete 360 by just making different choices. Just different choices. Like, I could have easily been like, man, I'm gonna keep doing what I was doing. But I was just like, man, you know what? I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna stop hanging out. I'm gonna focus on my craft and stop doing things that I was doing, you know? And God took me here, in a matter of, you know what I mean, months, just by me being humble and staying down. You know, my first call was Tim Bradley. That's what started it all. I wasn't fighting. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just chilling, you know what I mean? Training. And I got that phone call, and that was the light that sparked it all. You know, me sparring Tim Bradley, and then it's been up ever since.
World champion, a role model to everyone in your community. Everything that's going on right now is like the police violence, everything that's, how does it touch you? How does everything that's going on right now?
I try,
I mean, you're a young African-American.
I just try to,
how does that affect you?
Look over it sometimes, being that I'm training for a fight, I don't want to get distracted, but at the same time, it's not right. None of it's right.
What's not right? I mean,
well, the police killing people and not being credited for it. And, they on camera doing it, and still nothing happened. And people killing innocent officers, that's not right. You know, none of it's right. So that's how I look at it.
What is it when you see that happen? Maybe you've been in trouble with the law. How can you really?
They mess with you. You know, when you.
So you can tell me from experience that you.
Yeah, they mess with. You know,
because I am black. Yeah, because you're black.
You know why?
Yeah.
You don't get messed with like we do. Like, we get pulled out the car, they search our cars. Sometimes they plant stuff on you, beat you up. A lot of,
and that's been on tape to prove it.
Yeah,
it's not.
A lot of things being done for years that nothing have ever happened, and now that cell phones and everything have came out, and people start using them as a tool, now they can see it. But at the same time, nothing is...
And still nothing happens.
You know, that's why the world is what it is right now. And it's just going to keep getting worse. It's not going to get better until people start getting charged for what they're doing. If we can get charged for the crimes that we do, why can't the officers be accountable for what they do?
You've been through your own experiences. You can say, you can relate 100%?
Of course.
Well, what's something that happened to you that you, man, I wish that would come on video. I mean, you're a world champion.
Man, I done got a lot of stuff done to me.
Are you immune to that now?
You don't have to go into it.
I'm not.
But it's ultimately, again, you're somebody. You're a name. You're on a platform that your other black people look to you to say, hey, say something, do something.
We say things, but look, we can say.
What do you say to those people that say that?
But we still can say whatever we want. But at the same time, it's not up to us. We've been talking for years. Yeah, it's not up to us. It's up to the government. It's up to the people that's above the law to do something. Because they see it just like we see it. Why do you think officers starting to get killed all the time? Because people is being fed up. And it's just going to get worse. Because President Obama's talking about bringing in the martial law, and that's just gonna make things worse. So then you're gonna have a war out here between people and the cops, and it's not gonna get no better unless people start getting charged for what they do.
Is it like that in Omaha? Do you see that? It's a prevalent.
No, it's more mellow in Omaha, being that we don't have cops killing people from Omaha. Beat you up or tase you or some things like that, but they're not killing you. You know, we have had cops killing people in Omaha before, but it's not like it is over there. You know, you killing somebody while they down with their hands up and things like that, or you killing a little kid, anything like that.
Your message is someone who's black and looks up to you and is going through something, is being touched by that negativity. What would you tell to that person?
Go to school. Don't even pay no attention to it.
Well, what can you say? First of all, the interviewer did a great job by digging the information out of Bud back then. Second of all, as far as Crawford talking about this more recently on The Art of War, you heard Bud say, it's nice to see the same people that used to harass you not showing you love, talking about the police. Apparently not all, Bud. Apparently not all. Not everyone is a good person. In every home, there's a bathroom. And we all know that. So we waiting on the city of Omaha. We still waiting on the Omaha police to report the results of their investigation on their own corrupted cops that tried to take Bud Crawford's life away. They went after our beloved champion. You serious? And this had to be done maliciously due to the fact how everything occurred. You know, everything happens for a reason. Not all the stars align for no reason. This had to been planned. Crawford gets stops. There's no reasonable, probable cause. They told Bud he was speeding. Bud said, well, show me the proof. Do you have me on a monitor? The cop said, no, I don't have you on a monitor speeding. We didn't actually have you on computer recording your speed limit. We just assumed you speeding by how fast you was going. What? If you in Bud's shoes, you're gonna say, that's fine, give me a speeding ticket. I'll let my lawyers handle this BS. I'm gonna get it dismissed. But no, that's when things got serious. This is why I said they maliciously had to plan this. Knowing Crawford had his security in the car, obviously they had a pistol. The cops knew that. I mean, duh, if Crawford needed protection with fists, he's the best fighter in the world. He doesn't need anybody to fight for him. He needs someone to shoot for him in case he gets robbed for either whatever he got on or the 24 karat ring magazine belt, or whatever. It doesn't matter. The man is the face of boxing. He needs protection. The man brought nearly 20 to 25,000 people to the city to celebrate his win over Canelo Alvarez during his parade. You don't think he needs protection for him and his team along with his family? Man, I may have an army pull up if I was in Bud's shoes for that day. And the cops knew that. So when they were trying to act surprised there's a gun in the vehicle and treated it as if their life is being threatened, when there's no gun on site, when everyone has their permits, and you got the face of boxing in front of you, why would he shoot a cop? Why would he lose the $100 million he made and everything he worked hard for just to shoot a cop? If you're going to be a police, you got to have common sense. You got to have logic, and you can't be emotionally afraid to the point where you're just going to assume stuff like that. If so, you shouldn't be a cop. Duh. Anyways, the cop knew what time it was because he knew who Crawford was. How can he not when he was working Crawford Parade? How can he not when the mayor of the city was partying with Bud during the parade and after the parade? How can he not when Crawford is the face of boxing and Crawford told him who he was? But the cop didn't care, since they all had one mission, which is get rid of Bud. And that's how Crawford ended up at a gunpoint. His life was a sneeze away from getting taken. If the cop sneezed the wrong way, he could have easily had pulled the trigger and taken Bud's life away. Well, ironically, after Crawford received the second key to the city in the morning by the mayor, he ended up receiving handcuffs at night by the cop that works for the mayor. This was done for a purpose. This was done to show everyone, no matter what, even if you won in front of 70,000 live audience, even if you did the impossible in front of 40 million people watching you live, even if you received over 40 billion reactions within the weekend of your fight, even if 20 to 25,000 people pull up to your hometown to celebrate your win. If you are a black king, in our eyes, you just another black man. That was the message. If I'm lying or exaggerating, if this was simply an accident, then explain to me why have the majority of the TV outlets ignored this news? Why they haven't reported on this news yet? They completely ignored the news. They completely are trying to bury the news for a reason. The reason is the agenda. Crawford doesn't have the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection. If anything, he has the complexion for the neglection. The darker the complexion, the weaker the connection. That's the reality of America. That's what's happening. Just think about it. When Crawford received the second key to the city, he had the same wish that Muhammad Ali had 50 years ago. How is that possible? Or more than 50 years ago, 60 years ago. That's insane. Crawford said, from now on, when I go to restaurants in Omaha, if they tell me we don't have no more seats for you, black man, all I gotta do is show the key. Now I have a table, right? As the king of Omaha, as the king of boxing, as the face of boxing, Crawford is trying to bargain the same thing Muhammad Ali was bargaining in the 1960s after he won the gold medal. He went back to his hometown to eat in a restaurant, and he was denied a seat to eat in the restaurant with the white folks because he was a person of color. That's exactly what Crawford is dealing with in 2025 after receiving the second key to the city in his own city. He the face of Omaha, isn't he? Bud is the most famous person out of that city. And guess what? He's still getting the Muhammad Ali treatment in 2025. What a darn shame. Is that what it is, Omaha? And now y'all got y'all champion, our champion, at a gunpoint? Let's see what the Omaha police ends up deciding to do after this investigation. I can't wait. If you want to find out the results, then subscribe below and click on the notification bell, because sadly, you're not going to find out the information on the news. How you supposed to on TV. This is supposed to be all over television, but it wasn't, and it's not going to be, because Crawford doesn't have the complexion for the connection. Subscribe below, and to be continue on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.